Hello, lovely people. Hello there. Here I am again, Jackie from St. Anna's Reiki, and I'm going to come to you today to continue our walk through the armour of God, the armour of the universe, the armour of Reiki, the armour of life, whatever you like to call it. It's a tool to use alongside your Reiki, a tool to use in its own right, however you wish to use it. But it's just like an analogy of helping yourself get through any difficulty, anything that you seem to be struggling with. It really, really does help. So please stay tuned, and even if you think, oh, I don't need this now, it might be relevant further down the line. So we have covered from the feet upwards, and we come up, and we're now at the throat. So the throat, I think I'm going to do a whole video on the throat because it's very personal to me. I've been working on my throat for quite a while. But today we're just really talking about this armour of God and very specifically the sword of the spirit. So again, you can label it anything you wish. This is something that's out there. You'll find it on the internet. This is something that is written about, the sword of the spirit, and it's just something to help you with your throat. So I'm using it alongside the Reiki, and we're going to be talking about the throat chakra here. So I think probably my best way of explaining to you about how to help your energy at your throat, how to help any problem that's going around the throat, the jaw, the shoulders, the mouth, the ears. I think it encompasses all of that. It's probably best that I take you and walk you through a lovely Reiki treatment like I like to do, because for me, Reiki is all about us, ourselves, and helping ourselves. So shall we do that together and find some space, find some time, and I will talk you through what this sword of the spirit is. Okay, so if you're ready, find yourself nicely relaxed somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 10 minutes or so. And let's close our eyes and take in some breaths. So a nice big breath in. Hold that breath, it's yours, it's your gift for now. And release. And as you release, really release the tension in your body. And let's do that again. A nice big breath in. Filling up the lungs, filling your body up with that beautiful breath. Holding for a few seconds, enjoying that moment fill up. And release. And really release anything that needs releasing. It's only on this little bit of breathing that we do before we do any Reiki that sometimes you notice where any tension is. So let's do two more. Let's do one more together now. Pull that breath in. Feel yourself, giving yourself that moment of time out. Silence, holding the breath and releasing together. Nice sigh, letting the shoulders go, letting the brow go, releasing your fingers. And the last one together, nice big breath in. Filling yourself up, drawing in anything you need to pull in, holding together and releasing. Lovely. And staying where you are, quietly, just finding your own natural steady breath, feeling really relaxed now. And let's just zoom in on our throat. Can we all find that throat chakra, that center of our throat, and just see how it's feeling in this moment? Has it been a problem up to now for you? Are you having issues? Is it fine and you're just curious, you want to know what this sword of the spirit is? But just tune in on the throat, and let's just think about Reiki now for a moment and ask if we can do a Reiki treatment for ourselves now, and begin as we always do by calling upon any extra help. So you might work with a guide. You might just purely be saying, I'd like to do Reiki now, and that is as simple as we need to do. You might be wanting to draw some symbols on your hands. You might be pulling some symbols down through your crown. You might want to immediately bring your hands to Gasho and sit for a moment. When we're all ready, we'll bring our hands to our throat. You might not feel particularly comfortable like that, so you can find a position that does feel comfortable. Again, we can always beam. If you would rather just hold your hands outwards and beam Reiki to your throat, and remember the outer energy is still you. It's absolutely you. It needs as much attention as actually putting our hands on our body. But I always do suggest that you do put your hands on your body, because our hands are so nurturing. It's so comforting to just put our hands on our body, and we feel the heat, don't we? Whether we feel it or not, it's just healing in itself to be putting the hands on an area of our body and then using intention. So let's do that now. Let's just ask for Reiki. Asking for our guides to draw around us now. Asking to connect with God, if we align to a God. If not, we call upon the universal life force energy. We call upon our beliefs, anything that we align to strongly, any ascended masters, angels, spirit animals, whatever you want to draw close to you now. And just take some time to just focus on bringing love to this area. Just surround this area with love and ask if we could bring in healing, if we could find balance, if we could release anything that we're holding on to, anything that's not serving us, letting go of any tension. And I always bring a bit of EFT into my Reiki. So if there's anything that's coming up in your mind that seems to be relevant, any memory, if there's a colour that's suddenly, or a shape that suddenly comes into your mind, let's see that. Let's be aware of it. Let's accept that. Anything that's presenting itself, maybe that's relevant to what's going on at the throat. And be grateful and thankful that that's appeared. And then we'll just let that go. And we'll give thanks for whatever's coming in, and we'll take note of it, because that's what this stillness is. That's what Reiki is. That's why I love Reiki. It's a time out for ourselves. It's a time where we learn to be still. We learn to meditate. That's what we're doing. We're meditating. Might not look like the sort of meditation you read about or see people doing in books, but this is meditation. Meditation can take many forms. Reiki is meditation. Reiki is mindfulness. Reiki is so many things. Okay, and if there's anything you would like to bring in now, do that now. A lot of us like drawing colours to us. For me, it's always a beautiful blue, a lovely sky blue. It relates to this chakra area. So I like to call upon that lovely sky blue colour. Breathe that in like a mist coming through the top of my crown and just falling around my throat and expanding outwards as I breathe, so that I'm surrounded by a beautiful blue colour. And as we continue to give ourselves this Reiki, all I want you to do is just imagine that your dominant hand, whichever that may be, so for me that would be my right hand, because that's the hand I write with, and I would want to hold out in front of me if I needed to. Just imagine that that hand is taking a sword. Is a sword or a dagger is being placed in the palm of your hand. The handle is being put there, and you're feeling the weight of a little dagger, or maybe it's a very heavy sword and you need to hold your arm down. And you can be doing this visually in your head, or you can be holding your hand out like I just was. But we're literally asking the universe for assistance now with the Armour of God, and we're asking for, it's called the Sword of the Spirit. So we're asking, please, could I have the Sword of the Spirit, please, to assist me with my healing here at the throat. And the reason we're asking for this is this Sword of the Spirit is going to help us to heal anything that is in our way. So you might want to just use your hand now. You can imagine that you've got the Sword of the Spirit, or you can just be waving your hand like this, and you're just clearing anything that's maybe energetically in your way, around you. It might be to the side, it might be to the back. Quite often before a Reiki treatment, I will do all of this around me. I'm not always calling upon the Sword of the Spirit, but it's just clearing a path. Yeah, imagine you've got a thick smog around you and you're clearing that energy around you. So you can do this with your Sword of the Spirit. You can imagine that you've been given, you've been blessed with this beautiful, it's just very particular to now, this moment, personally to you. And you've been gifted it. You can't do yourself any harm. It'll have a little sheath over it to prevent you from cutting yourself. But yes, you're being gifted this moment, this tool, this object, which is from the universe, from spirit, and you're magically being able to rid yourself of anything that's not helping you, that's hindering your healing. Because sometimes no amount of Reiki, no amount of our intentions seem to get to the core of a problem. Sometimes we just need a bit of extra help. That's what these videos are all about. They're just going that step further. And just by asking for help, that is the key. So that's what we're doing here. We're giving ourselves Reiki in this Reiki treatment, but we're asking for extra help. So just visually see that Sword of the Spirit, just cutting away anything that doesn't belong. And we are souls that have been here, I believe, forever. And time is just an illusion, and ever, time is forever. So I believe there are many, perhaps, other lives that we're living at the same time. I'm getting very deep now and complicated, but who knows what we are coping with at this present time. So let's just cut away with our hand, with our sword, anything that's maybe hindering this moment now, this feeling of alignment now with our sword. And let's ask for this sword to help us in being truthful with the energy that's within our body. So we've run through most of the chakras in the body up to our throat now. So we've linked into how we feel energetically down by our feet, in our pit of our stomach, around the solar plexus, at the heart, and you know, all of that is held there, and quite often we stuff things down, things that we don't want to say, things that we don't want to offend other people. This sword of the spirit allows us to bring it all out. Let's bring all of that out to the surface and with this sword in our hand, and remember we've probably got the shield in our other hand. We had the shield of faith, didn't we, that we learnt about for the solar plexus, that we can hold close to us. With all of these tools, we can protect ourselves, and we can forge a path ahead. And we can be saying in our head, I really need to say the truth. I really need to say how I feel. I really need to express how I feel, but I don't want it to offend people. I don't want to say anything that people might think I'm a bit mad or crazy, not talk to me anymore, then they might not want me as a friend. This sword of the spirit helps us to be truthful, to say what it is we want to say. It gets our creativity out by just visually or mentally feeling as though we've got it in our hand. It gives us the power to do all of these things. It allows us to express ourselves authentically, to be the truth that we are, the reason we're here. Why have we incarnated in this body, in this exact place now? What is it we have to say? What is it we have to speak up about? What is it we have to express? What information do we need to pass on? Do we have to say words to help other people? I don't know. But it could be that no amount of the Reiki you're doing is helping because there's something you're holding back. There's something you've not dealt with. So it might be that this sword of the spirit just helps you to get that bit further. And you do it because you've got this tool, you've got this other aid that's going to help you. So just ponder on all of that for a moment. Just ponder on that and just feel how powerful you are, how strong you are with all these tools. And you can ask that this sword of the spirit be with you for the rest of the day, the rest of the night, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year. Very pertinent as we're in December. To really, really freely express yourself without holding anything back, and to really be true without feeling that you're worried about all these things that you normally worry about. And because it's the sword of the spirit, it's going to come and it's going to do the right thing. You're not going to be harming anybody else because it's going to be done for the highest good. So there may be cords, there may be blocks, there may be things that are in your way that you're not able to cut through, that you can't see. But this might just help you. So you're literally saying, okay, over to you now, sword of the spirit, I need you to go forward and help me now. Cut anything that I can't see. Just be in my hand for whilst I'm talking to this person, give me the words that I need. It cuts through with clarity, with truth, and with the right intention. And the sword is also a deterrent, and it's only given to people that will use it wisely. So this is a blessed sword. You're not asking for it to do any harm. It can only be used in the light, alongside Reiki, alongside healing. It's light, it's got the finest blade, and it's, as I said, it's got a sheath on it, so you're not going to do any harm unintentionally to yourself. It's from the universe, it's been gifted to you, and the universe has ultimate control over it. But you and the sword are one. And you can call upon it at any time. You don't need to be doing your Reiki meditation, little healing practice. You can be out with family, friends, shopping, whatever you're doing, and just literally imagine that the sword is with you. You know, like we put a bubble around us for protection. We use all these tools. So just continue to concentrate all your focus on your throat and ask that sword to be assisting you now with whatever it is you need to be doing. And if you need to be doing anything with your hand that you're holding your sword in, then be doing that now. And when you feel that you've done all that you need to do and that sword has done all it needs to do, you can just imagine that it's gone, and you can obviously give thanks. And that's probably a good place for us to come now. Back to Gasho. Let's come back to Gasho. You can carry on as long as you want to, but just for this video, we'll come back to Gasho and we'll conclude now, and we'll give thanks to all the beings, ascended masters, angels, animals, higher self, gods, deities, angels, whatever you feel gives you a little bit of extra power. We'll give thanks to Reiki and Dr. Yusui and Dr. Hayashi and Madame Takata. But most of all, let's give thanks to ourselves for allowing ourselves to have this moment now, and to just love the throat. Let's send it all our love. Let's send it all our thanks for all that it does for us. The throat chakra, the throat, for all that it has done. A little bit ho'oponopono, a bit of forgiveness for taking it for granted. And let's tell it that we love it. Let's send our love to our throat. And we'll just see that blue colour starting to fade away. That beautiful blue colour, or whatever colour you've brought in. You might have brought a purple, or a colour that's very healing for you in this moment. And we'll slowly start coming back to the breath. So we're coming back to the body and coming away from the throat. And let's maybe bring our hands to our lap or just comfortably, and let's take a nice big breath in again. Hold that breath again. Oh, really enjoy feeling that breath, filling you up, giving you power. And let's release. And as we do so, just release anything that you want to release. Roll your shoulders. Let go of any frown. Smile. And when you're ready, come back to your normal breath. Feel your feet below you, or feel below you if you're lying down, below your shoulder blades, underneath your heels if you're lying on a bed. And come back to the room you're in and the now you're in. And well done. I'm so glad you allowed yourself that time out for your self-treatment, for your throat in particular. I hope that you had a lovely healing moment, that anything that was needed came to you, and you saw it and acknowledged it, and you were able to let it go, and you enjoyed learning about the sword of the spirit. I don't think there's any other words I've heard for it. The sword of the universe. Again, it's just another tool from the Armour of God that I've been sharing with you alongside the Reiki, that you can use with your Reiki or on its own. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Have a great week and see you really soon. Bye.